Congratulations to the class of 2023. You've completed 5th grade and now you're ready to go off to the middle school. I remember when the year started and we went to Catalina and that night snorkel when we were all swimming and we saw the bioluminescence. It was just spectacular. And I've thought of that beautiful scene many times over the course of the year. And it always makes me smile and it always relaxes me. And I hope you have good memories from it too. The past couple of months have been very challenging, very difficult, but you've made it through. You've finished 5th grade and now you're ready for the next stage. You're ready for summer and you'll be ready for middle school at the end of the summer. And we'll be looking forward to greeting you again. So congratulations to the class of 2023 and to your families.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us as we celebrate our 5th grade students as they conclude their lower school journeys and prepare for new adventures in the middle school. This virtual gathering is an occasion for reflection and celebration, and certainly a reminder that we should never let distance keep us apart. To our thoughtful, determined, and ever-resilient 5th grade students, congratulations on all that you have accomplished. I know I speak on behalf of the entire lower school faculty when I say, we miss you and we are so very proud. During your lower school careers, you have each written a story, one marked with chapters of challenge and moments of sweet success. You have navigated your studies, engaged in a variety of extracurricular endeavors, demonstrated good character, and built everlasting friendships with your classmates. Now, as a final piece of Writer's Workshop wisdom, I want to remind you that no one can write your story like you. 5th graders, today and every day, you are the storytellers, and your tales of gratitude and grit and grace will always exemplify how extraordinary you truly are. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the class of 2023 as they take us for a trip down lower school memory lane.
Miles Adashek.
I was in 2nd grade when the marble jar we were working to fill was almost full. We had been working on filling it all year, and now was the day of the spring sing, which meant that this was the last week of school. We worked so hard at behaving and listening that if we didn't fill the jar, it would feel like we had failed. All I could think about was the marble jar and accomplishing my goal. I came back the next day and thought about how to fill this jar. Suddenly, Miss Orth surprised us and said we did well at the spring sing and we deserved to fill the marble jar. We earned a day of our electronics, but really it was more than just about the electronics. I was excited about achieving a goal after putting in all my hard work and earning it. I would like to thank my parents for teaching me not to take any shortcuts and always making me do it right the first time. I think that really helped me manage my time well, and thank you for that skill. I know that I will use everything you have taught me, and I will use these tools to help me be successful in the future.
Miles Bennett.
I have many memories of 5th grade. This is one of my favorites. All the Chandler students were yelling with joy as our well-deserved trophy was presented to us. We screamed, we jumped, and high-fived as the winning team of our very first track meet. Mr. Anderson settled us down, but we were still so very happy. All the boys took turns holding the gleaming trophy above our heads. We smiled at the camera and went home to enjoy our victory. I was so glad that I'd made the cut for the team while running the 4x400. That is my favorite memory of 5th grade. I thank my family and friends for supporting me through hard times and always being so helpful when I needed help. Also, when I was new in 4th grade, all the teachers and students were there, and soon I had great friends.
Simran Bindra.
In the first week of September, Miss Berry told us that there was going to be a spelling bee and that the winner would get berry bucks. I was so excited. Once the day was over, I wrangled all of my stuff up and rushed home to study the word cards that I had been provided with. The next day came like a comet, and I felt like I was ready to win. I got out of my mom's car and happily skipped towards my classroom. There I stood in awe. All of our desks were piled with amazing toys. Then I realized the berry bucks would provide us with enough money to buy a toy or two. As we stood eagerly waiting to answer the spelling bee questions, I kept my eye on the toy that I really wanted to get. The spelling bee came and went. Then it was time to shop. Luckily, I had come in 2nd place and I could still buy my favorite toy. Now that Mrs. Berry is gone, I miss her, and I also feel bad for all the children that never got to know her. I am very grateful for my parents who have supported me ever since kindergarten. I also greatly appreciate my friends who have made me laugh and smile. And lastly, I'm extremely thankful for all the teachers at Chandler who are constantly working their hardest in order to fulfill us with an exceptional education. Thank you.
Sean Patrick Boland.
My memory was when I was in 5th grade, we had Heritage Day. Everyone was dressed up in their heritage. It was so much fun to see all the different cultures from around the world. When it was lunchtime, we had a big picnic outside on the field. There was lots of food. There were dishes from Asia, America, Africa, Hawaii, and Canada. My favorite part was the sweets. There were many sweet treats there that I've never tried before. There was one treat that my friend brought and it was so good. It was real maple shaped in a leaf from Vermont. There was also yummy cake and pastries. They were so good. I've had a really fun time in lower school and I'm really excited to move on to middle school. I want to thank my family and friends for making me feel confident every day of my life. You're always there for me when I need it. Whenever I'm feeling down or I need a hand with something, you're always there for me. Thank you for taking me this far in my life. I would not have the life I have right now if it wasn't for my friends and family. Thank you.
Ethan Castaneda.
One of my favorite memories here in elementary school was going to Riley's Farm in 4th grade. It was an amazing place that let you time travel all the way back to the gold rush. When we walked in, we met everyone. They then told us all the rules and taught us how to use the tools. Then we were off. It was chaos. There was a stampede of people rushing to get in teams and find gold. The first place I went was to the river to pan. After a little while of panning, I heard someone had struck it big. I went up there and looked for gold. After a little while, I gave up. I then went down to the local house to do some chores. I swept, I cleaned, I washed dishes. After that, I got an okay paycheck. After a little while, I found some gold, and I made a purchase of some shovels. I don't know why I bought them, but I did. After a little while, it was time to go. I really liked this field trip, and it was a really great memory. To all my classmates, thanks for making me laugh and enjoy the year. To all my teachers, thanks for giving me a great education. Thanks for all the years. Thanks for making it great.
Kylie Chan.
My earliest memory of Chandler was in kindergarten. We were making gingerbread cookies. I was excited to make them, decorate them, and the best part, eat them. Our teachers made the dough and we cut out the cookies. Then in the oven they went. After a few minutes, the teachers announced that it was time to go get our cookies. We walked to the oven, and when we got there, I could smell the cookies. But when the teachers opened up the oven, the cookies were gone. So we went to every classroom to find our cookies. When they all said they didn't have them, we went to Mr. Finch's office, and it turned out he took our cookies. This has taught me that people make mistakes even when they don't intend to, and that's okay. It has been an honor to go to Chandler with all of my classmates. I'd like to thank my teachers for pushing me to do my best. I would also like to thank my friends for always making me laugh. And finally, I would like to thank my parents for providing me with such good education. It has been a blast going to Chandler, and I'm super excited to see what lies ahead.
Rihanna Cohen.
Chandler has provided me with such a wonderful education and memories that will last forever. It has also provided me with a wonderful selection of books from all genres. I love going to the book fair every year and selecting books I would like to purchase. Another thing I love about the book fair is the petting zoo. My time at Chandler has passed by so fast it seems like just a minute ago I was walking to assembly with my buddies. I couldn't imagine what my life would be like if I didn't go to Chandler. I'm so grateful that my parents sent me to such a wonderful school. When I step through the gate each day, it doesn't feel like I'm going to school, but I'm stepping into a whole different environment. I love Chandler from every angle, all the teachers, the classrooms, events, every part of it. Chandler doesn't feel like school, it feels like home.
Hayden Cundiff.
Hi, my name is Hayden Cundiff. I remember in 2nd grade, we had a STEAM project about dinosaurs. We had to make the dinosaur that we chose out of cardboard, sticks, glue, plastic bottles, and paper. We learned about the Jurassic period and the Cretaceous period. This memory sticks out to me because my brother was having surgery on STEAM night and I only got to look at my project in 1st grade's project. But I still enjoyed the chance to make the dinosaur project and learn a lot from it. I'd like to thank my family and friends for all the support and my teachers for teaching me all they can. Thank you.
Alexander Densick.
On the first day of Chandler School, I was nervous. I knew nobody there, but I agreed to like it. I already knew the landscape of Chandler, considering I went to the summer camp the summer before. I remember my first friendship was with a boy in my class. I already noticed a difference between Chandler and preschool. More work, for starters. It felt weird seeing all these people because none of them I saw during summer camp. We met our teachers, Miss Pappas and Mrs. Standing, and got assigned seats on the carpet. It was also my first time at the playground. It was fun. I remember wondering why older kids were playing on the field, not knowing that the next year that would be me. I liked my first day at Chandler, and I was excited for the years to come. I would like to thank my parents for sending me to this wonderful school and helping me throughout these years. I would also like to thank my friends who had my back if I was in a hard position and helped me when I most needed it and when I just needed a little lifting up. Lastly, I'd like to thank my teachers who taught me all the things I know today. Thank you.
Sabrine El-Amin.
There are so many things that I've accomplished in the years I've been at Chandler, but clay masks have been one of the best. Clay masks really helped me express myself in different ways. If I was angry, I could mush something together to relieve my stress. If I was calm, I could gently and easily place some clay onto my mask. If I was happy, I could add some squiggly textures to make it feel more exciting. In art, I love to let out all my deep feelings onto my tan clay. When I would rub my finger across the mask, I would say to myself, wow, I've really learned a lot of things about masks. Making those masks wasn't the only fun part, but doing the research about them with 3 of my classmates was really fun too. We used a lot of teamwork too, and we had laughs from time to time while researching our masks, and I like to see that in a team. I absolutely love lower school with all my heart. All the teachers were so nice to me, and all my friends and classmates respected me. I definitely think that my parents chose the right school for me, and I enjoy it so much. Thank you to my mom and dad.
Aiden Epstein.
My favorite lower school memory is being Superstar. It's finally my turn to have Superstar for a week. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I jump up with surprise and walk over to Miss Gansader and take Superstar from her. I was thinking of how I can spend the whole week with him. We did so many things together. We went to go play basketball and soccer. After that, we went to dinner. I printed my pictures and glued it into the Superstar book. Then I wrote a quick sentence saying what Superstar and I were doing in each picture. I really felt special that week. That it's amazing that I still remember how fun I had with Superstar. I want to thank my family and friends for supporting me through lower school. Also, I'd like to thank my teachers for teaching me so much and making me a better student.
Cole Francis.
I remember one day at Chandler in kindergarten, and it was Green Eggs and Ham Day. I read the book during that year, and green eggs and ham sounded pretty gross. I was thinking, why are eggs and ham green? The parents were making the food as I sat down and was ready to dig in. I was very hungry. As they scraped the pieces of egg and ham onto my plate, I took one breath and was ready to see how it would taste, and I dug in. Surprisingly, it tasted really good. I had an awesome day after that. This memory was important to me because it was one of the fun things I did at Chandler in kindergarten. I really like Chandler, and there are a few people I have to thank. Thank you to my parents for sending me here every year. I'd also like to thank my teachers who have taught me so much. And finally, thank you to my friends who have made this experience a lot more fun for me. Thank you.
Samuel Grabius.
Although it was only my first year at Chandler School, I've already made so many friends and memories there. I remember for the annual Heritage Day picnic, which was my first one, I had a lot of fun. I got to try all kinds of foods that I'd never tried before, and I had fun with my friends eating, laughing, and enjoying ourselves. Afterwards, my friends and I played gaga ball while we could barely move because our stomachs were so full. I would like to thank all my classmates for making me feel more at home at Chandler and accepting me and just being nice in general. I've had fun for my first year at Chandler, and I hope the fun continues into 6th grade. Finally, thank you to my parents for helping me when I needed it and being there all throughout the journey. Thank you for listening.
Priscilla Ho.
Hi everybody, my name is Priscilla Ho. Thank you for watching this promotion. Today I'll be sharing my fondest memory from lower school. In 4th grade, me and my classmates went to Olvera Street in downtown Los Angeles. You would think we were only there to collect souvenirs and eat delicious fajitas, but a teacher reminded us that we weren't only there for the food. She took us to a pueblo where we saw our textbooks come to life. We walked into a kitchen where the Native Americans toiled. I felt I could still see all the blood, sweat, and tears on the worn-out kitchen utensils. I walked through the fields where the Native Americans farmed and their tiny sleeping quarters. These harsh environments made me honor our ancestors even more. This is why I want to thank Chandler School and its teachers for giving me great opportunities like this. I will never forget these field trips where I learned so much. I also want to thank my classmates for helping me when I was down. Last but not least, I want to thank my wonderful parents. I'm so happy I get to be at this great school. Thank you.
Kiana Holcomb.
Hi, I'm Kiana Holcomb. I remember on Wednesdays after school, I went to a chess club. I learned lots by going to it, like tactics such as English Open and more moves I can play. I'm so glad that Chandler offers chess club as an after-school activity. It was fun going there and learning. I also remember going to the chess tournament for the after-school chess club and winning first place. I will never forget that moment. I walked up to the front and got my first place trophy. I'm so thankful. My mom and dad sent me to Chandler School. I have many friends that are kind. I would not have had such good friends if I went to another school. I also thank all the teachers, Miss Heaney, Miss Ferry, Miss Solomon, and Miss Collins for guiding me through my education.
Michael Johnson.
My memory was the 4th grade holiday concert. We all had a great time because everyone was there, even our classmates who left before 5th grade. My favorite teachers were there also. As our 4th grade class stepped on stage, we were a little shaky at first, but soon got into the rhythm of it. One of the songs we sang was Joyful, Joyful. We had a great time and lots of fun singing and listening to other grades. This was surely one of my favorite memories, but the best part about it was the ending. It was a huge finale that was amazing. We all got little flashlight fingers and put them in the sky. It looked perfect. Parents were humming the songs. Even alumni were there to hear us perform too. This was definitely one of my favorite memories, and maybe yours too. Chandler is a great school because of all the helpful teachers and staff. Chandler also has the best education there is around. The people I'd like to thank are my mom and dad for sending me to the school, and my teachers for giving me the best education there is. Chandler also has the best lunches, and I enjoy recess with my friends.
Max Kim.
I remember a time in 1st grade when we had a field trip to JPL. I was only 6 or 7 years old, so I was too clueless to remember anything, so I had no idea that we had a field trip that day. It was a Friday, and everyone had left after assembly to go to the tower. Everyone but me. After assembly, I went to our classroom and saw Mr. Donnie. He said, "Come on, Max, hurry up," but I thought I was just late to class. I was walking around school trying to find my classmates. A teacher found me and asked what grade I was in. I said I was in 1st grade, and then she made a face like, "Oh shoot." She took me to the office and they called my mom. My mom came and picked me up. We drove to JPL to find the whole entire class waiting for me there. I want to thank my parents for sending me to Chandler and to thank my teachers for teaching me. Was at the beginning of the kindergarten, I was very shy and quiet, but once I got to know people, I felt more comfortable around them. I can't imagine going to school anywhere else instead of Chandler.
Charlotte Kurtz.
The time at Chandler that I most remember is a 2nd grade field trip. We went to a strawberry farm. We rode in a bus to get there and it took forever, but that long ride turned into an amazing field trip. When we got to the farm, we went to some tables to get a long drink of water. After the short break, we took a walk to where the fields of strawberries were. Plenty were ripe and some were still growing. We were each given one carton to hold the berries. I picked a lot, so I had to get 2 baskets to hold all the strawberries. The fields were really big, so there was more than enough fruit for the class. After we were done picking the strawberries we wanted, we went over to a table that said Chandler. There we ate our lunch. Unfortunately, we had to wait till we got home to eat the strawberries we picked. I remember that time the most because the strawberries were delicious. I like how Chandler encourages people to make friends, even if not the socialing type. There is always a way to not be lonely. I would like to thank my family for sending me to Chandler.
Matilda LaBroucherie.
I remember when we went to Sacramento on a field trip in 4th grade. We flew there on a plane early in the morning. We had lots of fun at the Railroad Museum and at Sutter's Fort. We also got to go into the Capitol building. However, my favorite part of the field trip was probably the boat ride. We went on the boat ride to learn about the different parts of the river and why it is so important. While we were on the boat, we went underneath the I Street Bridge. The I Street Bridge is a famous bridge on the Sacramento River that moves to let tall boats through. The way that it moves is very interesting. The whole bridge actually slides out of place vertically to let boats through. It was originally built to connect Capital City with Yolo Country. It was built in 1911 and was first part of State Route 16. We got to go under it. As well as learning about the bridge, we also learned a lot about the river itself. For example, we learned that it is about 445 miles long. It was a super fun and interesting field trip, and I am very happy that I got to experience it. I really appreciate my friends for always being there for me and making me laugh, my teachers for always helping me when I needed it and for always being so welcoming and kind, and my family for providing me with such a good education and making it possible for me to go to Chandler. Thank you.
Baker Laird.
In 5th grade, we had a chance to write poetry. We went through many stages: brainstorming, writing, and editing. We went through all of these stages, and the piece that I created, I was so proud of. And when I was done, I took a step back to admire the work that I did. I felt something amazing: pride. My poem was titled The Wooden Gift. It was about my love to build gifts out of wood to give to people. This poem made me proud because of how much time and effort I put into it, and my finished poem showed my love for woodworks. Just like the pride I felt when writing The Wooden Gift, I feel the same pride here in my lower school experience at Chandler School. When I started here in kindergarten, I could barely write my full name or a sentence. Now I am here promoting the middle school, and I can write essays, build projects, and work in a group. Thank you to my teachers, my classmates, and my parents for supporting my growth throughout Chandler School Elementary.
Amelia Lee Dulles.
In 5th grade, we got to go to Catalina for a field trip. Our parents dropped us off near the Kids Space Museum. We had all of the luggage with us, and everyone was waiting and wondering how long it would be until we boarded the bus. We took a bus, ferry, and small boat to get to Kelp. We stayed there for 3 days and 2 nights. It was a great time to bond with friends. There were so many activities. We went hiking, rock climbing, snorkeling, and gardening. When we went snorkeling during that day, we got to see more of the animals that live on the sea floor. We saw leopard sharks, garibaldi, sea urchins, snails, rays, and lots of kelp. When we went night snorkeling, I was a little nervous at first, but once we got into the water, it was super fun. We got to see bioluminescence and spiny lobsters. The water was so cold during the night snorkel, we needed to wear 2 wetsuits. I want to thank my teachers for helping me with all that I needed. I also want to thank my parents for sending me to a wonderful school. Thank you, Chandler.
Henriette Lipsmith.
5th grade was a year of change. I had Miss Collins, and I already liked her from somewhere at Chandler. But right when school started, she went on maternity leave. I missed Miss Collins. I needed something to pass the time. At first, I wasn't thrilled when we started unicycling in PE, but I pushed myself to work hard at it. I was determined to be the first to do a lap around the sports court. I finally did it. Then I started going down steps and doing other tricks. On the weekend, I practiced all the time. One day, I fell while unicycling and sprained my wrist and couldn't unicycle for 10 days. Once I healed, I was allowed to unicycle again, but the unicycling unit was over. Once, Mr. Anderson was nice enough to let me borrow one to keep practicing at home. But then, Miss Collins came back, and the time had flown. And I was a little nervous, but also excited for her return. I liked her even more than I remembered. This year has taught me that change may seem scary, but it is good. I would like to thank my classmates, my teachers, my family, and all the other people who have helped me be a better person and see the good in others. Thank you.
Chloe Liskey.
I have made many memories at Chandler School, but one of my favorites was learning to unicycle. I love unicycling. It's one of the things that makes me, me. It wasn't like I just got on a unicycle and started riding. It took time and practice. One reason I'm so good at it is that I took my unicycle home every day to practice. I would set records of how far I could go and try to ride past the marks. Soon I could ride 4 laps around the sports court, which meant it was time to try the 6-footer. It's a super tall unicycle that makes anyone on it look like they're 6 feet tall. I wasn't very good at it in 4th grade since I had just got on, but in 5th grade, I came back with practice and I was able to ride it like a normal unicycle. I would like to thank my family for allowing me to have such a wonderful education, my friends for making it such an enjoyable experience, and my teachers for teaching me to be my best self. I have learned so much already and can't wait to learn so much more in middle school.
Audrey Ma.
My most meaningful memories of Chandler started after school closed, because this pandemic finally showed me the true meaning of the Chandler pillars: caring, challenging, and committed. From Mr. Finch reading to us at night and personally delivering a math journal to me, to Ms. Diener keeping us creative with the 30-day challenge, to the after-school team giving us fun times with origami. The people that make Chandler work truly cared for us. There is a big difference between a human being and being human. Our teachers not only challenged themselves to teach in a new way, they challenged us to learn in new ways, and we are all the better for it. The entire Chandler staff committed to us, and they never gave up on us. So thank you to our Chandler family for caring for us, for challenging us, and for being committed to us. I know that no matter where I go, I will make my parents and myself proud by always upholding the Chandler pillars in my life.
Malia Moandesi.
When I was in 4th grade, I tried rollerblading for the first time. I had a hard time learning how to even move. When I did learn how to move, it wasn't much better. I was slow and I fell a lot. Everyone around me was way better than me, so I was more determined than ever to get better. By the end of the week, I learned how to pick up speed and stop. I even learned how to jump. I'm very impressed that Chandler's PE program allows me to have opportunities like rollerblading and unicycling. And I'm very lucky that I can go to a school that offers other activities that most schools don't get. I want to thank my parents for this opportunity to go to Chandler. I have learned so much in my past years, and I know that I still have much more to learn. I had a lot of fun in my elementary school years, and I'm excited for my years to come at Chandler. I hope my time at Chandler ahead will be as great as the past.
Violet Monda.
One day, when our class walked into the art room, Mr. Chatham told us that we were going to be drawing our hands. He said that the drawing should not be cartoony. We were going for realistic. He asked us to look at a poster full of signs for American Sign Language and figure out what signs would help us form a word that we wanted to create for our drawing. I thought very hard about this word. I knew that it would take a long time to draw, so I should do a short word. I chose to do the word love. We started drawing our sign language letters on scratch paper. Mr. Chatham told us that next week we could start on our final drafts. He showed us the paper we'd be using. I worked and worked and worked so that next week I could start on my final draft. I found out that it is very, very hard to draw your hands realistically. My first drawing was horrible. It looked like a toddler had drawn it. As I worked on the second one, I started to get the hang of it. The third one was a masterpiece. It felt like no time at all, but then class was over. I couldn't wait till next week to continue the project. I was already so happy about how my drawing had turned out. I want to thank all my teachers and Mr. Finch for helping me succeed. I also want to thank my family for sending me to this amazing school.
McKenna Morales.
I remember when I was in 4th grade during the winter time. It had been raining most of the day, so we had to eat lunch in our classroom. My classmates and I had just finished lunch when some of us went outside. It was hailing. I quickly rushed outside to enjoy this really amazing and wild day. We saw the 5th graders dancing in the hail and chanting. When we looked on the field, we saw the white plains. The hail started to turn to snow quickly, and our excitement grew quickly too. After the snow stopped falling, we had to go back inside. It was hard to work through because it was such an exciting event. Many of us gazed out the window with smiles on our faces. I have had and will continue to have amazing years with my classmates and future ones to come. I thank my family for sending me to this amazing school with amazing education. I also want to say that my teachers and assistant teachers were the best teachers I could ask for. Thank you.
Rowan Murray.
When I was in 4th grade, we took a trip to Riley's farm to learn about the gold rush. Riley's farm was a simulation of the real gold rush. My job at Riley's farm was guarding the mining cave and making sure that only 3 people went in at a time. The worker said that if I did the deed well, he would pay me handsomely. I ended up getting $2,355 in fool's gold. I used the gold to get a ruby for my sister that unfortunately turned out to be a clever forgery. I want to thank my parents for being involved in my schooling and to make sure that I got the best education possible. My teachers for helping me when I struggled, teaching me to be better at individual things, and allowing me to express myself freely. Lastly, I want to thank my friends for helping me when I'm feeling down, laughing at my jokes, and sticking by me during my time at Chandler.
Kessery Penman.
Chandler Lower School has been a blast. One of my favorite memories is the 5th grade Settlers celebration. It took place over a couple weeks and culminated with a big celebration. My group and I put our creative minds to work and worked through our differences to produce a phenomenal presentation. I was so proud of our efforts because it represented our collective creativity. We designed a very colorful poster board about the Pennsylvania colony. The day we presented our project to parents and other students was very exciting. We received so many compliments about how bright and bold the poster was. I felt my personality came through in this project because I like bold and bright colors and have a vivacious personality. Thank you to my parents for their commitment to my education and for their support and guidance throughout lower school. And thank you to my brother for his unconditional support. Thank you to my teachers for their commitment to my academic success. I have enjoyed my time with you. Thank you for believing in me and bringing out the best in me. But more importantly, thank you for inspiring me. As I embark to the next stage in life at middle school, I will commit to use all the knowledge and skills I have gained so far. I am committed to be the best I can be and to make my teachers, parents, family, and friends proud of me. Thank you.
Allie Perez.
One of my best memories of Chandler so far was in 3rd grade. In 3rd grade, all classmates attended the 3rd grade bike riding. I had so much fun learning about the different hand signals that you use when you're riding. Soon enough, we all got ready to take off on our speedy bikes. Once we started riding, everybody started zipping past each other. I was riding to my fullest speed and only saw blurs of green bushes and the blue sky passing me. This was just a fun and active memory that I know I will never forget. I love Chandler, and so far my experience here has been more than I could even ask for. I started here as a small kindergartner, and now I'm here ready to go to middle school. I've gotten to know people here at Chandler pretty well now, too. And I am so glad that I got the opportunity to go to Chandler, and I definitely made the right decision to come here. Now that I'm about to be a 6th grader, I can't wait to see what more Chandler has in store for me.
Mason Perigee.
One time in 1st grade, we were introduced to our second STEAM project. It was all about rainforests. Once I heard about all the activities, I was super excited. We were going to create our own animal and create a rainforest animal shelter. I was so excited and could not wait to start the project. I brainstormed ideas and worked hard during the next few weeks. My group and I made a huge cardboard tree with amazing animal models and drawings on it. I focused on my ideas, determined to create something amazing in a 1st grader standards. For my rainforest creature, I created a scorpion-dragon hybrid made out of styrofoam and other silly materials. I was proud of my work and knew my effort had finally paid off. Finally, the day came to present, and I couldn't wait to show my parents as I took them to the classroom. They walked into a rainforest filled with unique environments and colorful creatures. It was probably one of my most proud moments at Chandler, and I shall always remember it. Thank you for my parents for being awesome and letting me go to this amazing school, as well as my teachers who have taught many useful things, and even my friends who have supported me through the years. Thank you for everyone at Chandler for bringing me here today.
Ross Piken.
I remember when I was in 2nd grade, which was my first year of school at Chandler. Our STEAM project was about if there were dinosaurs here, then how would you make them stop eating the plants? I did not really understand the concept since it was my first year at Chandler. We had to make a prototype to make sure the idea I thought of works. After we made the prototype, we finished up the video by showing what we did. Then it was time to prepare for STEAM night. I didn't want to come since everyone thought my idea was odd or weird, but we still went. It was so fun. I love doing STEAM. I love Chandler Lower School and I wish I could stay here. I want to give a special thank you to all of the teachers that I have had. Miss Berkey, Mrs. Fernandez, Mrs. Heaney, Mrs. Finley, Mrs. Tallman, Mrs. Collins, Miss Brown, and Mr. Finch. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents for letting me and my sisters go to Chandler School.
Roman Pineda.
My favorite memory in 4th grade was in art. We had a new exciting project. I didn't know what it was, but next day we started to use clay. Mr. Chatham said we'd be making plates. I couldn't wait. The teachers announced the instructions to make the plate. We started to make the shape out of the clay. We got a big piece of clay and tried to flatten it into a shape of a plate. Then we had to wait another day to dry the plate. I got to add some textures to make it cool. When I put textures on, I wanted my plate to look interesting, something like a robot. So I dabbed the texture chick on the plate over and over again to make a unique look. When I was finished, Mr. Chatham fired our plates, and we all got to see the class's other plates. I want to give a big thank you to the teachers and parents for the hard work they do. Without the teachers, I wouldn't know what to do in school, and without my parents, I wouldn't be in Chandler School and wouldn't meet my friends. That was the most fun I ever had in Chandler.
Parker Plurad.
Parker Plurad, when I was in 3rd grade playing capture the flag. My favorite memory in lower school was when I was in 3rd grade. I was playing capture the flag in Mr. Downey's after school class with my friends. We were on the same team. I saw a 4th grader try to go outside of the boundaries and then come back in. I thought I could do the same without being seen. I went to the line of clones, crawled over and passed the boundary into the enemy's territory. I then got up and ran silently toward the other team's flag. I ran as fast as I possibly could, got the flag, and ran back to our side just as fast. I made it, and we won. And I said I wanted to play again, and we did. This time, I tried the same tactic and said, I'm invisible. They can't see me. I again ran to the outside, then crawled to the enemy side again. But this time, I went all the way behind them and then went for the flag. But as I was running, I slipped and fell with a loud oof on the ground, and everyone turned and looked at me. I really thought I was invisible at that moment. I'd really like to thank my parents because they have been there for me every day when I need help with something. They paid for my food and gave me money to get snacks at the Shamrock shop. When I was a step at some moments in my life, they comforted me. I like how they got me hot lunches and me up for after school.
Ben Sandman.
Earlier this year, my 5th grade class and I came to school in a white shirt and black pants, not knowing how fun our day was about to get. Today was America Fest. We participated in all different activities like writing with a quill, soap carving, and fun games. Towards the end of the day, my classmates and I dressed in wigs and high socks to recite the Declaration of Independence like old men and women. This day reminded me of what it means to be a 5th grader. The way this day came together made me feel close to my friends and my class family. In my opinion, the purpose of this day wasn't to learn about the Declaration of Independence, but to help people notice all the great times in our 5th grade year our class has had together. Thank you so much to everybody who's been there through my time at Chandler. Thank you to my friends, family, teachers, and classmates. All of you had made my experience at Chandler School what it is.
Catalina Smith.
In 5th grade, I remember our field trip to the Lewis and Family Playhouse to see a play about World War II. All of my classmates sitting in the theater, half of us sobbing and teary-eyed, watching intently as the story went on, about the Franks. We learned about the horrors of the Holocaust while the teachers comforted the ones who were sad. I loved being there and learning about the past, and it made me sad thinking about how one can do such a thing. But it was one of my favorite memories in the lower school because I had a wonderful time. I'm so grateful that I even had the chance to see it. Lower school has been an amazing 6 years of my life. Although it was a bumpy ride with many ups and downs, I've had so much fun on field trips learning many valuable lessons. Even though I'm sad to be leaving the beloved lower school with kind, intelligent, caring teachers, it is my time to walk across the field to middle school. I would like to thank my parents, my fellow classmates, and the amazing teachers who made lower school such an amazing experience. Thank you so much. I could never have asked for more.
Tyler Tassinant.
Hello, my fellow classmates. These years in lower school have gone by so fast. We are now embarking upon a new journey into middle school. I will always have fond memories of my time in lower school with my friends and my teachers. My top favorite events were the Sacramento trip, the Catalina Island trip, and the JPL trip. One of my favorite memories is of the JPL trip we took in 5th grade. I enjoyed it because we got to see the new Mars 2020 rover. We also saw people working on it live. There was a bunch of space technology that made me feel excited for the possibility of life outside our solar system. We had such a great and educational time. I would like to thank all my teachers who educated me and my classmates throughout the years, and my friends for making the school years fun and happier. Lastly, I would like to thank my mom, dad, and grandfather for their never-ending love and support. They helped me to be where I am today and will support me to where I hope to be in the future. Congratulations, class of 2023. We made it to middle school.
Alex Tang.
I remember asking everybody, is it time yet and can we go yet? Every day after we ate lunch, we would go to the bottom of the stairs until the teacher would let us run loose to grab football or basketball. Within a few seconds, everything would be gone. We would run to the field to play football or run to the sports court to play basketball. When playing in football, we would team up as a grade and play the younger kids. It was fun, tossing the ball around, dragging each other down, and picking each other up. In basketball, we would play knockout, hand court, 3-2-1, and full court. We'd throw lobs to each other, do crazy shots and moves, spin around, and weave through the court, but in the end, we always had tons of fun. I would like to thank my parents for providing me with this education in facilities like Chandler. Because of them, I have learned so much and also made many mistakes. I've gotten in trouble numerous times, but have learned to be a better person from those. I also want to thank my friends, teachers, Miss Brown, and Mr. Finch, and the entire Chandler community for giving me the best experience I could get. Thank you.
Taylor Trauber.
Something that has really stuck out to me since it happened in 4th grade is Infinity Tap. We just started playing during science one day, and it stuck for a while. It was the only time that we all played together as a grade. We would just run and laugh while hanging out with our friends and having a blast. Creating little rules that would make it even better. It would just start with 3 of us, and all of a sudden, it would become most of the grade. It would be a rush to finish snack and lunch just to play. Everyone had their part in this game, and no one would be excluded. Everyone would be screamed at to get tagged so others could get up again. Everyone had a different way to play and different strategies. Even though we no longer play and it was moved on to Goggle Ball, the friendships that were made have stuck and have grown instead of left. I would like to thank my teachers, friends, and family for all the support through my past 6 years at Chandler. I have loved my past 6 years at Chandler, and I can't wait to see what comes in the next 3.
Austin Vadot.
I remember when we went to JPL in 5th grade. Me and my friends were waiting to be allowed in. Once we got in, we got to see a movie. It was 3D and awesome. We learned so much about space. We had a tour guide telling us all about JPL and what they did there to improve the world. They showed us all the things they were building and how it worked and what it would do. I was in awe and loved learning about the satellites and what they did. I also liked how interactive it was as we got to see what the satellites and space tools looked like. It was an awesome experience and I loved it. I can't thank my teachers, friends enough for being so kind and supportive. And Mom and Dad, thank you for sending me to Chandler. I love it here. I can't wait to learn more in 6th grade and make new friends. Thank you for listening.
Noemi Villanueva.
I've made amazing memories at Chandler, but one of my favorite memories was cheering in 5th grade. The summer before 5th grade, my cousin decided to cheer for her high school. When she visited, she taught me many things. I decided to try it myself. I wasn't sure at first, but when I got there, it was so fun and exciting, and I learned so much. We got to do many things. It was so much fun, and I loved when I got to spend time with my friends. I love Chandler so much. All the teachers here are great. I'm so glad I can be here with amazing faculty and staff. I've been enjoying the years I have been here at Chandler. I have made so many amazing friends, and I am excited for middle school. I can't wait for the next 3 years of this wonderful school.
Ruby Warrow.
Airplane, courtroom, friends, trains, mannequins, museum. In 4th grade, we traveled for an hour on a plane ride. We went to a train museum, and my friends and I got super freaked out by all the mannequins and their freaky painted eyes. We all thought it was a horror house. I learned all about California, and I loved learning about the first trains and seeing a real courtroom, of course. I loved how we got paired up with groups, and we had a lot of fun with my chaperone, who was Mr. Chatham. He was awesome. Also, taking a trip and traveling on a plane without my mom and dad was fun. We sat next to a very kind woman, and she asked us where we were going with our class. We responded that we were going to Sacramento. She also asked us what school we went to and what places we were going to visit. I loved this trip, and it just brought to life everything I learned about California. I just wanted to thank everyone in this outstanding school and amazing teachers helping me get through everything I've asked for. And thank you to my loving parents who worked so hard to take me to the school. It is truly a gift to have these amazing people in my life today. Thank you all.
Henry Weintraub.
When the 2 5th-grade classes got on the boat going to Catalina, they expected nothing but paradise. The second we went there, we realized that our expectations were very much underestimated. Everything was beautiful. There were peaceful sharks and fish in the water.
The sky was clear and beautiful. As we walked to lunch, we were looking at the surrounding mountains and valleys. Then someone screamed and fell down. A few minutes later, we realized it was a wasp sting. The rest of the trip was spent having fun and running from the wasps, which was fun in its own way. When we had to go home, I was devastated and really upset. The trip was really fun while it lasted, and I'm glad I came. I'd love to thank my parents for putting me in this school, and my teachers that made sure I learned what I needed. I'd love to thank my friends for making the 2 years I spent in this school the best of my life. I'd like to thank Mr. Finch and Miss Brown for being the best principal and director I've ever had. Thank you for listening.
Sarah Shaw.
One of my favorite memories at Chandler was in 3rd grade when we got to make LED light monsters. Miss M showed us many examples of how to make LED light monsters. I got super excited and paid close attention to the steps. And once we got our materials, I replayed the steps in my head. Once, while I was replaying the steps in my head, I did forget some steps. But a good thing Miss M recorded herself of her making the LED light monsters. But there was also a downside, because some people got the batteries that didn't work. And unfortunately, I was the one who also got one that didn't work. But good thing there was extra, so I could switch them out. Once I finished, I was super happy because I just made my first mechanical item. I would like to thank all my friends and teachers I have met during my lower school time. I have learned lots of new things with you, and I would miss you a lot during my middle school time. Also, thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me the opportunity to come to Chandler. This has been the best experience of my life with my friends and teachers. Thank you for supporting me.
Congratulations on successfully completing 5th grade. Right now, you're at a turning point in your Chandler career where you can look back on the successes that you've had thus far and know that they will carry you through the next 3 years of middle school. I'm delighted to be the first person to welcome you to Chandler's Middle School. Your lower school teachers have prepared you well with a good academic foundation and a strong character education. You'll draw upon both of these as you take on new challenges and discover new talents. We look forward to moving through that discovery process with you. Congratulations, class of 2023, and welcome to middle school.
Our school friends and faculty